good evening, and welcome to Sports Radio STL here on 590 The Fan. I'm Randy Gardner alongside the one, the only, Gary B. The only guy in St. Louis has a one-letter last name.
I like it.
What's the B stand for? Everybody always asks me.
Billions of dollars. That's what it's all about.
All right, we have a very special guest in-house with us here on the show. We have a lot of celebrities on the sports show, especially through the last 10, 15 years of doing this show, but nobody bigger than the man sitting in front of us. Gary, I'm going to let you do the honors.
I tell you, individuals out there that if you go to a hockey game, we're broadcasting, by the way, from the Bobby's Place, which is in Valley Park. Bobby Plager, naturally, right near 141, on 141, just north of 44. We're going to talk more about that. In fact, we're going to have Eric, the general manager, up here shortly. But if you go to a hockey game, every time the Blues score, what happens? Naturally, you hear the horns going, you see everybody giving high fives and everything. But there's a young man way up in the rafters that is constantly having the light shining on him, and all of a sudden he is throwing a towel around. So the one, the only Randy Gardner,
Gary,
the towel man.
Let's just get to him.
I love this guy, young man.
The towel man is in the house, Ron Beckley.
Thank you. You've got a great story. So many people have seen you. They know what you do. They want to know how you got this thing started. Were you just that average fan that was in the crowd who came up with a great idea?
Actually, I just think that I wouldn't take no for an answer. We went to Peoria, watched the Rivermen do this. A guy by the name of Pete Martin. This was something they did down there. We decided to bring it back, get it started. We animated it. It's a little different. And I just basically told myself, as long as I'm having fun doing it, I'm going to keep doing it. Had no clue it would turn into what it's turned into.
I do have to ask you, is it a dangerous job? I've seen you stand on the edge and go, oh my goodness.
It could be. It just depends.
Have you fallen ever?
No, my foot has slipped before. I would love for the hook a bungee up and just swing me out there. But I don't think they do that because of insurance.
Insurance.
Yeah, there you go. Liabilities.
Now, you said earlier as we were talking that you're sponsored by some people who provide you ways of going to the game. Are you sponsored or affiliated with the Blues organization at all?
Well,
if not, why not?
Well, it's something. I've always been self-employed, and I've always went out and just, again, my whole intention was, as long as I'm having fun doing it, I'm going to keep doing it. And it just, as it started to grow, Magna got involved, and then Magna Bank was one of my first sponsors, and then Tarleton Corporation came in, and so these people were helping pay for the towels and then my seats, and then we would throw after, and it just kind of evolved into that. And the Blues have always, as far as if I need tickets or something to a special game or something like that, I'll call and ask. But as far as getting season tickets, it's been something I've always done. I've always found a way to make it. I guess I'm into advertising, so it's kind of a way to advertise myself and network myself.
We're speaking with Towel Man here. Towel Man, naturally, we're at Bobby's Place, and here's a picture, and this is what Towel Man has on right now. He's all decked out, naturally. Every time you go to the hockey game, you see him up in the what section is that, Towel Man?
314.
314. Again, Ron Beckley is his real name, but Towel Man does a super job, and you brought a paperback. And tell us a little bit about this. This is so cool.
Well, this just came out. Jeremy Rutherford from the Post come up with the book. It's 100 things that all Blues fans should know and do before they die. And it just kind of goes over the tradition of all the things that the Blues have done. I'm chapter number 88. Ironically enough, that the interview was done during the strike here. And this picture was actually in Sports Illustrated. In December during the strike. I was one of the 35 noteworthy sports superfans. And then come January, the strike ended. We started the season. We come in there and just first game out, we're kicking Detroit's can, and first goal I hold a sign up, and this is in the book. I hold a sign up that said, "I'm still negotiating." They didn't think that was too funny. So, but I understand. I mean, and again, the story's in there. But you know, I'm there every game. I love the Blues. I'm a fan, but I'm no bigger fan than everybody that's in the seat. I come in, I do my thing, I enjoy, I have fun. People know that I'm there and I see it. And what makes it tradition is you got to be consistent with it. And as I said, I never dreamed anything would turn into this, but
you have players and legends who have come and gone through the years here with the St. Louis Blues. You've been around forever now. When people, even youngsters now, my son's 10, when they think of the Blues, Brett Hull, you've got Bernie Federico, and you've got the Towel Man.
yeah.
It never goes away.
It's great because I don't have to get my face bashed in, and people know who I am. But it really is when kids come up and say, they're 20, 25, and they said, I've never been to a game that you haven't been there, and it's neat. It's a neat feeling.
Yeah. Is there anything else around the league in any other city that does something on the scale that you do and is as well known as you are?
I don't know. And as I said, this just kind of turned into its own animal. And I know that I'm not employed by the Blues. I'm not, and I'm anybody who knows me. I'm a jokester and I love to have fun. And I don't take myself seriously, but I do take this seriously because whether I am or not, I know that I'm representing the club. So there is a responsibility.
Now, have you ever missed a game?
Oh, sure.
What happens when you miss?
Well, I have.
Have we lost?
No.
Did somebody stand in for you?
Yeah, I have stand-in, and ironically, Dee Loris, she fills in for me. I tried to get when I first started doing this. I said, "Okay, you want to fill in? No, nobody would touch it." And Dee goes, "I'll do it." So I call her a towel gal, and
Good.
she does a good job. She stands in, and every now and then, my nephew did it for a little while. He would fill in, but Dee's the go-to person.
Any good celebrity has a scandal. They've been booed. Have you ever been booed?
Oh, sure. There's games that we've lost. I'll be walking back out, and the people walk by me, and some of the things that they say are not very. It's like, dude, I wasn't on the ice. I mean, if I could have, I'd have thrown one in. It's not my fault. It's just really. I think it's really sad that you paid all that money for that ticket and you're mad at me, because and that's the toughest part to be a fan. When you're losing 4-1, 5-0, to get up and count the goal, that's not easy.
What about the players themselves? Do they acknowledge you?
Oh yeah, there was a time there back when Hall was part of everything that was going on, that I got invited to a lot of the stuff that the Blues did. And the players, I got to know some of the players and stuff. And as the new regimes come in, each one, I don't think they're sure what to do. It's like, well, we don't give him his tickets. We don't do nothing. What do we do? And it's, but they have all acknowledged.
We're going to start a petition. Next year, you will be employed by the Blues.
I think you should. We're speaking with Towel Man. We're at Bobby's place. What a great place to be, naturally. Bobby Plager's place in Valley Park. Speaking with the Towel Man up on the stage here. And there's a lot of individuals out there that want to get this card and get it autographed from you. But I want to get back to the book. A lot of individuals would say, how do I get my hands on this book, Towel Man?
Amazon.com, some of the bookstores. I know and I couldn't tell you what bookstore because I'm illiterate. I had to have that read to me. No, I'm kidding.
Bring it to the game and you'll autograph it, right?
Absolutely. You bring the game, I'd be more than happy.
Are you approachable at a game?
Absolutely.
Are you in the zone and you don't want to be bothered?
I think that's one of the reasons this works so well, is because I'm no better than anybody else. I'm really not. And if you want to come up and get your picture taken or talk or something signed, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to do that.
Hey, the Cardinals have Cardinal Cowboy. The Blues have you. You ever thought about maybe expanding over to the Rams? I know you wouldn't get much work with the towel at the Rams game.
It's all right. It's all right. No, you know what? I would love to do a Rams game. Because I figured out a way I could make that work. I just need somebody from the Rams to call me.
We might be able to set that up, Randy.
We can
You
work
do
on that.
You work on that. I'll show it to Rams. Now I'll have to wear this so they know what's going on, or half and half. We'll put the horns on.
We'll tell the people out there, too, that if you're interested in getting the book, 100 Things Blues Fans Should Know and Do Before They Die, go to our website, SportsRadioSTL.com. I'll put a logo in there that you'll be able to get information on how to get a hold of this book. And again, as Talman had mentioned, that if you bring the book up to his section, what section is that again?
314.
314, that bring a pen along. And
I got pens.
You
I
got
got Sharpies.
he's got pens. Okay,
I carry
forget that. He's
Sharpies.
got the Sharpies, so you'll be able to get that pit.
Now, are you a hockey fan?
Absolutely, but in the simplest form, I just love the sport. I don't have time to follow the stats, who's got the most fights, who has, and what all that matters to me is after the last game, you're holding the cup over your head. That hasn't happened yet, and I every year you get excited, and it's like, man, this could be our year. Right now, it's just I want to get in the playoffs, be healthy, and make a good run for this, because it's our time. It's our time. We need a cup.
Now, do you live this Talman? I don't even get up, whatever you want to call it. Are your license plates Talman?
Oh, no.
Is your car wrapped in blues stuff?
No, it's I would like to get a card and design one just for the games, but I do weddings. I've been asked to do weddings. I've shown up at different events.
I think I've seen you at an event, and what were you dressed up as?
Oh, Austin Powers. Austin Powers. We have a great Austin Powers group. We have a lot of fun with that.
Super job.
I do have to ask you some quick fire questions here.
Absolutely.
Favorite blues player all time that you've seen?
I keep going back to when I was a kid, and Red Berenson and Gary Unger were always my favorite growing up. But there's too many good ones to just pick or focus on one. Brett Hall was just so much fun to watch, and I don't know, just there's a long list.
Best game?
Best game's got to be Monday Night Miracle. I mean, I wasn't even at that game. I was home and I was running around my apartment, man. That was exciting.
And then on the other hand, most disappointing game?
Most disappointing game when we were playing Detroit in the playoff, and Al McInnes scored a tying goal from center ice. Just awesome. And then we came out and lost in overtime. So it was that build-up.
Now, when you are at home, do you, or any of the games that you go to, do you tape them and then go back and maybe analyze your performance when you get caught on the, in-house camera feed?
Not really.
No?
Not really. I mean, when I first started doing this, the towels I had were too big because I was hitting people in the head. I had to adjust.
You live and learn,
Yeah,
right?
that's it, man. I got called a lot of names when I first started doing this.
We're speaking with Talman here at Bobby's Place in Valley Park. And what a great place to be. We're taping this on Thursday night. It'll be airing between 6 and 7 on Friday night. So right now, I know the Talman is getting ready to go down to the hockey game here in order to get your right arm all
That's
ready
it.
to go.
We'll get it all loosened up.
Now, do you ever do it with your left arm?
No, I'm not too
ambidextrous?
Not ambidextrous. I have dropped a few towels and before I threw them and
Has
stuff.
anybody ever ripped them away from you? I'm asking, the questions that the people around me would ask.
I have somebody, because I've got painter's pants and there's a loop in there. I've had towels pulled out and or somebody stand too close and hit and different. But I got to tell you, when I do what I do, I just feel like I'm an extension of every fan, because every fan there is just as important as I am, and it really is. It's an honor to get up there and be part of the Blues and support.
Gary told me before you came on in this segment he would like to be your understudy.
If you want to come up, you pick a game, you come up, I'll let you throw a towel.
He's so old, he'll fall over the ledge.
That's all right, you can drop it. You can drop
right, you can drop it.
There's been one time I brought one of those launchers, balloon launchers, and we launched it and it went up in the rafters, it never came out, it got stuck. So there's just, it's a lot of fun.
Now, do you have a social media presence, a website, a Twitter feed, a Facebook page?
Well, somebody started a Twitter account. It's not me. I do have a Facebook. It's Talman STL. and I on Facebook, and I try and post to it. And I'm not real good. I'm not real good at that. It may be every couple games, but it's I should probably get somebody to run that for me. But I just in a lot of areas and.
Well, where else would people?
busy.
Where else would people see you, Tom Man, besides down at the hockey games?
Well, I'm self-employed, commercial artist and design work. We do lettering, construction equipment, cars, do banners, logos, artwork, brochures, printing, anything in advertising.
And pants.
And pants. Yep, I airbrush those.
As we wrap this segment up, Tom Man, Ron Beckley, what would you like to leave the St. Louis Blues fans with out there from Bobby's Place?
Just let's get a cup, please. Let's get a cup. I just want a cup. I want a cup before I die.
And I think if we get one, you deserve a day with it.
Oh, I would. I'll
We'll
second
make
that.
it happen.
I'll
We're
second
gonna
that.
make it happen.
I wouldn't even mind a ring. I'll give you my ring size, man. I would love that.
We will start the petition for you.
I'll follow that cup all year, and I'll polish it every day. Every day.
You hear it live here on KFNS.
All right, we know you got to get rolling. It's getting time to be down there. How early do you get?
I usually leave out of here at my house about 4:30, 5 o'clock. I head down right now, Cyberg's. I go to Cyberg's before every game because they help sponsor me too. So we get in there and mingle, and you get your food, and if you're more than anybody's welcome to come down there and talk to me down there too. And we shuttle over to the game. And
which Sidebergs now?
Downtown off of Market Street.
Hey, we appreciate your time. It's great.
Thank you.
All these
so
years
much.
being in the media, I've never met you, but it was a pleasure. Great guy.
Thank
Great
you.
guy. All right, stay with us. We've got a lot much. We've got a lot much. You see, you got me flustered.
Let's go, Blues!
I told you you're our biggest celebrity we've had in a long time. Usually that only happens when I'm sitting next to Gary. Stay with us.
He's only got
Much
one letter
more
in his
next,
last name.
right here on Sports Radio STL on 590 Sports Radio. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Sports Radio STL. I'm Gary B. My broadcast partner has stepped aside here a little bit, but I think he's been replaced by a beautiful young lady. Introduce yourself, young lady.
My name is Sherry Bolasina, and
you're with?
I am with Sozo Motorsports.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about this second segment here on Sports Radio STL is the Sozo Motorsports. A lot of the individuals may not have heard of Sozo Motorsports before, but here's a bike, here's a motorcycle, a racing bike that you can actually win by the end of this year. December 31st, they're going to be giving this away, and we're going to talk about here with Sherry how you can register for the bike here, how you can get involved with the bike. But a lot of individuals, first of all, Sherry, may say, well, wait a minute, Sherry, what is this all about? What is this Sozo Sports all about here? So talk a little bit, first of all, about the bike here that we're looking at here.
This is a bike. We are the AMA Pro Racing official beverage sponsor. And what we are doing, we are giving away a bike December 31st to anyone who wants to register. And you can also hear about our products. We have all great natural products, energy drinks that are all natural. Very focusing, and the racers are really liking.
Yeah, and that's the main thing, Sherry, that we're talking about here. The company, if you go to SozoSTL.com, there are some products that will just blow you away. There's energy products, there's coffee products. All of these products are 100% natural, and that is what this motorcycle is all about. It is trying to introduce people. The company has only been around for a couple of years, and you're trying to introduce to people the healthiest coffee in the world, the healthiest nutritional beverages and other items as well.
Absolutely. We also have a nutritional drink that has 21 servings, fruits and vegetables. All of our products are based around the coffee berry, which is the highest in antioxidants. So anyone that has it's good nutrition, it also helps take inflammation out.
Yeah, dietary supplement basically is what it is. Now, you sound like you know all about this medical stuff. What's your background?
I'm an RN, and that is exactly why I did get into this company for that reason, because it is helping people take the inflammation out and make them better.
Yeah, and as we talked about, the motorcycle here, individuals have an opportunity to win this. And maybe you can kind of give the details on how they can actually win the bike. And it's very, very easy. If you have a cell phone.
If you have a cell phone, go ahead and text into Sozo Bike 88769. Or you can go on www.sozomotorsports.com.
Yeah, sozomotorsports.com. And basically, that's how easy it is to register for the bike. And Sozo, by the way, is SOZO. But if you go to SPORTSRADIOSTL.com, Sherry, I'll put a link onto there so that people will be able to, again, text that particular number and be able to register to win this nice bike. Now, I understand throughout the whole year, you guys were at many, many different different races.
All kinds of races. We've been we have been at Birmingham, Alabama. We are at the Indy, the Springfield 1 mile race. We've been at several of the different races, promoting our Sozo and trying to get people on the right path.
Right, and again, when she's talking about the products, the most nutrition products in the world, and that's what this is all about with the Sozo. Now, there's a young man here. Talk a little bit about Barry Boone.
Yes, Barry Boone is the announcer for the AMA, and he also is, now we are sponsoring Barry Boone. He is a Talking Motorcycles with, it's called Talking Motorcycles with Barry Boone. And
yeah, he just. In fact, we're going to be having him on our show here at some point on Sports Radio STL here in the future. Just kind of talking about, because as you mentioned, you've been advertising this bike throughout the whole year. You started. Where did you start the advertisement? Is in Daytona Beach, Florida. I think when they started.
Bike Week. We started at Bike Week and just kept moving forward. Now the season has ended, but we have gone to almost every race and watched the flat track race, road racing, and hopefully next year we're going to move on to something bigger. Now
Sherry again is with the Sozo Motorsports team that you have here, and basically as we break this down going into a commercial here, what would you like to leave our listeners with, Sherry, concerning the Sozo Motorsports?
Definitely check us out on our website, www.sozomotorsports.com. We have great information on there. Look us up, look up our product, and give us a call.
That's very good.
And sign up for the bike, because it is an awesome bike.
Sign up for the bike. Again, we can do that when you go to Sports Radio STL. And there's going to be a lot more to come as we continue our show here at Bobby's Place. We're in Valley Park, Highway 141, just north of Interstate 44. If you're ever in the area, stop on by here at Bobby's Place. And you can hear everybody having a lot of great time here at Bobby's Place. I want to thank Sherry again with Sozo Motorsports, talking about how you can win a bike. That is a very good opportunity for individuals out there, a motorcycle, a racing motorcycle. As I mentioned, go to our website, sportsradiostl.com, to get all the information on it. Now joining us is usually our cameraman. Usually he's on the other side of the camera, but Scott Spellbrink here, spelled with one L, is going to talk about the Ultimate Blues Hockey Package. And Scott, this is a gigantic opportunity for individuals.
Yeah, as people can see, I usually, I have a face for radio. That's why they kind of put me behind the camera. Well, what happened is one of our listeners kind of came, unfortunately, she had a stroke at the age of 24, and this happened down in Texas. So we're trying to, even though her medical costs, her traveling costs aren't covered, and we're trying to bring her back to St. Louis. So we kind of came up with this package deal where we're having, for $10 you can win 4 tickets, and they're actually in section 115, second row. This includes actually a parking pass and the price of the tickets. So it's a total package of $900, and you can win it for $10. Now, the raffle will be given away like November 22nd. We're going to do like a benefit at Classics Bar in Florissant. But the game is actually January 13th against the Edmonton Oilers. So it'll be a great Christmas package for somebody that wants to do it that way too. And you can like come here to Bobby's Place. You'll see me selling tickets or the other places. And if you guys really want to get some contact information, you can call John Myers, the one who's actually running the benefit. And his number is 314-660-6327. That's 314-660-6327, and you do not have to be present to win. What I'll do is just get the tickets. You just put your name and telephone number down, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, what a great opportunity. Again, broadcasting live here from Bobby's Place in Valley Park to announce this, the Ultimate Blues Hockey Package for a great cause, and that's a lot of information, Scott, that you have given out there. And as you mentioned, you've got the Oilers, the Edmonton Oilers game that it'll be on the 13th of January, and four tickets on the second row in section 115.
Yeah, I think it's the side where the Blues actually shoot twice.
And twice there, yeah. And each raffle ticket is how much again?
It'll be $10 for four. You can win four. So like I said, it's $200. I think a price of a per ticket. So you're coming out about $10.
Yeah, about a $900 package total is what it includes. And again, the game at the beginning of the year, and as you mentioned, that's a great Christmas present because they're going to be giving this away even before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, before Thanksgiving.
So it'll be November
22nd.
November the 22nd is when it will be given away, so that individuals have that opportunity. And if you do want that opportunity to win this, go to our website, SPORTSRADIOSTL.com, and you'll be able to see a little logo up there and be able to get the information on what phone number to call. Scott Spellbrink, what would you like to leave the KFNS listeners with?
Hey, watch Gary B and Randy every so often on the show, and like I said, I'll try to keep my face behind the camera.
Thanks, Scott Spellbrink. That was a great opportunity. We want to thank Scott Spellbrink again for the opportunity for individuals to help out a great cause, number one, but then number two, for a little of $9 or $10, a very inexpensive opportunity to win four tickets to the Blues game, just about on the ice, and a $900 package. It's going to be given away November the 22nd. So by going to our website, SportsRadioSTL.com, you can find out how to get more information on the package.
And who's joining you now?
Oh, man. Where did you come from?
I just kind of magically appear.
I thought you were Scott Spellbrink. No.
All right. Earlier we had the Towel Man on. What a great opportunity to get a chance to go see the Towel Man. $10 investment goes to a great cause. Scott Spellbrink doing a great job promoting this, and we'll give you all the information a little bit later in the show as we wrap things up here at Bobby's.
And I think also we can probably include a visit by the Towel Man for the individuals that win.
We could maybe include a visit by Gary B here on the sports show.
You just never know what will happen. So make sure you go to our website in order to find out how to get the opportunity for, like I said, as little as $10, an opportunity, Randy Gardner, to win over $900 package.
Last week we had a great time at the end of the show. The last 20 minutes of the show had an opportunity for the first time in years to just sit back and talk sports. Uncensored sports, because this is a sports show on a sports radio station, but very seldom do we actually talk sports. All right, so we're a week further than we were last year. All right,
yes,
we talked about the Dallas Cowboys. Then the Seahawks come to town. Everybody in this town, including myself, expecting a total blowout. The Rams go out, put up big numbers, almost lose it at the end of the game. I will say we got a touch lucky, but you know what? The ball bounces your way sometimes. Sometimes it bounces the other way.
Well,
we'll take what we can get.
And in my article, I write in writing for the community newspaper, the sports section there, I had mentioned that the past several games, the Rams have come out of the gate. I mean, they were just on fire, winning 21-0, naturally in front of the Cowboys. And other games, they were really doing well the first couple quarters. And then, Randy, I don't know if they get gassed.
Well, even against the Eagles, they were down by 30 points going into the fourth quarter. They come back and win. So this team can consistently put together 1 quarter, 2 quarters, but not 4 quarters of consistent football, which you have to be able to do in the NFL right now. The talent base is too high.
The big word is consistency. We are the youngest team in the NFL out of the 32 teams.
Now, did you see what Brett Favre came out and said about our quarterback? I mean, that's a pretty high praise for a guy who is, basically your third-string quarterback coming in, taking over a team for Sam Bradford.
Do you really think that's healthy for this kid, 25 years old? He is hearing from somebody going into the Hall of Fame.
You know
think
what?
He's going to get a big head?
I don't know, but you know what? If he plays well, he gets a big head and plays well. I don't really care who says what.
Do you think that's pressure?
I don't think so. I think he knows he's playing well. He's got a lot of confidence. I thought he was going to be that Kurt Warner story the last couple of weeks anyway. He had the opportunity to be the Kurt Warner story. Can it still play out? Why, certainly. There's a lot of games left. The Rams have only played one divisional game, and they're 1-0 in the division. So overall, they're not playing that well, but division-wise, they're 1-0.
Yeah, I think so. And you going back to the Seattle game, you noticed a few things happen there that you don't normally see. Coach Fisher naturally came from Tennessee. He had a lot of tricks in his bag in Tennessee. Now he comes to St. Louis. I think he went into those bag of tricks.
Well, I can tell you the kickoff return was one of the greatest calls that I've ever seen in any sport anywhere. Would you agree? I mean, you talk about a coach analyzing a film, breaking it down from play to play to play. The tendency, from what I heard from within, was that he always kicked the ball to the left, as you're looking at the field, to the left-hand side of the field consistently. So that play was put in place, and he fooled everybody, including the cameraman.
For the individuals that may not be familiar with what Randy Gardner's talking about, the Rams were receiving a punt. Well, the entire team ran to the right, just about the entire team ran to the right side as you're facing the kicker as he kicked. He kicks the ball to the left, as you mentioned, but the whole team just about went to the right side, and naturally the kicking team is running toward everybody.
And even the receiver, the punt receiver, is looking like he's looking for the ball, because when they punt it, the ball is basically, you can't see anything. Right. So that was set up beautifully.
And then naturally what happened is the ball came down on the other side of the field, and there were 2 of the Rams players there, and basically went in for 90 yards untouched.
I joked in my column last week about if the Rams want to be successful, I mentioned it on the radio show, maybe put a Cardinals uniform on the Rams and see what happens. But I'll tell you what, you come out, a trick play here or there can make a big difference. This Rams team has to hold on to the ball, though. They have to hold on to the ball.
And let's talk about, when you talk about trick plays, let's talk about the other trick play at the end of the game there, where it's
called a fumble.
No. That was before that. Bottom line is that the Rams are deep in their own end zone, and they're going to punt the ball. They have about 6 yards to go for a first down. Well, in the situation, they're punting the ball deep in their own end zone, and there's an opportunity for Seattle to kick a field goal, and then the Rams would lose. Bottom line is that he pulls out the bag of tricks, Coach Fisher does, and he has a fake punt. So the punter, Hecker, did a super job taking the ball, receiving the ball, and looking for his up blocker on the left side, Cunningham, and basically threw a perfect pass to him, first down, Rams end the game.
I had somebody last week, I think they sit down and analyze our shows and what we say, but you made mention that you were responsible for all the first halves of the game. Now, the way it sounded on the tape when I went back and listened to it was like you were responsible for all the play calling and all the good play.
Yes.
Explain what was actually meant by that statement. Or was that true?
I am not sure. No, I basically, you see all the good things that they do. And you mentioned it, Randy. They do a lot of good things throughout the first half. And then they fluster themselves. They get too cocky. I don't know which or what.
Well, they're just a young team.
Right.
You break this down, they are a young team. So if something good happens or something bad happens, it really doesn't matter. They do not know how to react against veteran players and teams in this league.
Now, you have a great coach in Coach Fisher. How many more years do you give him? I mean, it's not the coach's problem, I know, but he's the leader of the team.
Well, we
He's gonna take the brunt.
We talked about this last week, too, that the organization as a whole, not only Jeff Fisher, who I think is a phenomenal coach, gets the best out of his players. I like his work ethic. I like the way he approaches the game, approaches the players. It's no nonsense. You break a rule, you're out. I like that. More of that needs to be done. But the franchise from the top is going to have to spend some money. You cannot win in this league with rookie receivers. We mentioned that bring in Roger Staubach, bring in a big-name quarterback. You know, you got to do something to put people in the stands to support this team at all.
Well, you mentioned that last year, too, is talking about Brett Favre, as you mentioned at the beginning of the segment here. They called him last year, but naturally he was on a do-not-call line, so they never got a return call from him. But, yeah, you need to put somebody in on the field there that people go, oh, I want to go to the game just to see this guy, just to watch him play, or just to be among him out there on the field.
How about the towel man? We'll put the towel man in the stands. Hey, he's a great guy. He was a lot of fun to be around.
He's got so much energy that it's all packed in, and
he goes to Sozo STL, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
And shops.
He does that shopping there, but the thing is, I can't believe that he's been doing it for 25 years.
He looks pretty young. I don't want to offend him or anything, but he looks pretty young in this picture, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like my picture.
And as I mentioned, that's part of Sports Illustrated during the strike year, and that was funny when he talked about how during that strike year he came out, he said he's still negotiating. He held a sign up after one of the Blues games.
All right, well, I'm going to negotiate here in between segments. Maybe a glass of water in the restroom, and we will be right back here. We're at Bobby's. Gary, what's the exact location down there?
Exact location, we're just north of Interstate 44 on Highway 141 on the east side of the road, and you can't.
We're not on the east side.
East side of the road.
On the east side down in the Fenton area.
Valley Park. and again, you can see a lot of people, in fact, tonight are still sitting outside. We're taping the show on Thursday night and broadcasting on KFNS between 6 and 7 every Friday, Randy Gardner.
All right, when we come back, we've got a lot more. As Gary mentioned, Bobby's Place is actually named after Bobby Plager. Just as you can see behind this, whole bunch of blue stuff in the place. Enjoy it if you come down here. Great atmosphere. This place is actually really big. This is a big stage.
It's a gigantic stage, and the food is excellent here as well. It's not just that bar food that you may see around. Yeah, that great food here as well.
All right, we've got much more after the break. We're going to talk maybe some World Series. Tied up 1-1. Actually, by the time this airs, could be 2-1, could be 3-1. I don't know.
They're off tonight. I
don't even know what day of the week it is.
It's Thursday.
Right.
Okay.
Stay with us. We get a drink, and we'll be right back here on Sports Radio STL on 590 The Fan. Stay with us. And welcome back to Sports Radio here on 590 The Fan. I'm Randy Gardner alongside the one, the only, as I always say, Gary B. What's that? What are you pointing at me for?
I'm number one. Randy.
Well, you know what? We don't even need you in this segment.
Okay.
Guys, we're going to talk soccer.
You guys are going to talk soccer.
The whole segment.
Are you going to kick me out of here then?
We are. Do the honors. Introduce
Ken Bromeyer is with us here. He's with Sozo Motorsports. We talked a little bit earlier concerning motorsports, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
And bottom line is, though, we're just going to do a square table discussion on all kinds of sports.
Kind of rectangle.
Well, I don't know. I think, okay, it could be rectangle.
That's close.
But
Sozo Motorsports. Tell us about that. Is that you get into NHRA?
Well, that's our ultimate goal.
I'm just asking. My brother's a driver.
To get with the big boys. In fact, Jim France from Daytona Motorsports Group is a big supporter of us with Sozo Motorsports, so we can hardly wait to have a Sozo sticker on a card going around the track.
Very nice. Automobile racing, and then next we're going to get you in the world of MLS soccer.
Oh, can't beat it.
How cool would it be to have a name on the front of a jersey?
That's what we want. We want Sozo because there's another big sponsor of soccer that's got a big emblem across it. So if you're a soccer fan, you know who that is. But it's going to be Sozo.
Now, you've got a big soccer background here in the St. Louis area. Tell us about that.
Oh, I'm a good Catholic boy. I played CYC soccer my whole life at St. Francis of Assisi. Went to Oakville Senior High and brought home the first state tournament for the first public school in
St. Louis soccer history.
And you had a cool story about your son also. That's awesome.
You know, we won in '76. My son's team won in 2000, so we're the only father-son team in Oakville history, and to win as a father and son state championship. So that was cool.
We televised last weekend the induction in the St. Louis Soccer Hall of Fame. The big dinner down there they had. Taylor Twellman was inducted this year.
Right.
Several people. Michael Mara was inducted. Are you amazed how the CYC and SCISA and SLISA are such powerhouses in the world of soccer here in St. Louis?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, if you look back when I played, it was CYC soccer. I mean, that's where it all started. Then it moved up into select. We played for some Bush teams, played for Fran Rich at Emos. They won some national titles back in the day. Ty Keel played for them. So yeah, what a great deal. What a great soccer roots we all have here.
Yeah, and years ago they had the St. Louis Ambush. They're coming back to the family arena, and I'll tell you, I used to be a part of the Ambush when they were here.
Waterboy.
They asked me. They asked me to go out and get all the soccer balls and put them into the corner so that nobody would trip over them. But the Ambush are coming to the family arena, and a gentleman who is their coach used to play with
Daryl Duran, absolutely. Yep, we went and watched them last year when the inaugural season. It was great. It was fun. It was good to see some of the old guys running around out there. Yet, you know, Daryl is as young as they come, so it was awesome.
He can still strap the boots up and play.
He's
Phenomenal
awesome.
shape.
Yeah. No.
Well, Randy, you played actually. You never talk about yourself, but Randy,
Daryl cut me.
Aquinas.
That's all right.
Being a good Catholic boy,
It's
you know.
part of the game.
Aquinas High School off of 270 there. You played, you kicked for them, but you had a background in soccer as well. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we won state championship in 1986 at Aquinas, and then went on to play at Lindenwood and Fontbonne, and then tested the waters in the professional leagues, and of course got cut and hurt and everything else that everybody else does. And here we go. I'm a broadcaster
There we
for
go.
the last 25 years.
You guys saw me hobbling up to the stage, so you know where that all comes from.
Isn't it amazing back when, in that era, there was really no money in the sport whatsoever. Now you can make a decent living in the world of soccer in, the MLS and some of the feeder leagues leading up to that.
It's what it is. I remember went to Costa Rica. USA played Costa Rica over in Kansas City at one of the qualified matches. You know, that was my first exposure to international soccer. It just makes my hair tingle thinking about it. And that's what we need back here in St. Louis is some pro soccer, let's get it going, let's support it, because we used to. I mean, it used to be great.
Yeah, I hope the new outdoor team really excels in this area. You know, I'm almost afraid that without that MLS name attached to it, without some of the big names like, Zuzi and all these guys coming in town to play against a St. Louis franchise, that it might struggle. I hope I am proven wrong, but nothing better than to see an MLS team come to St. Louis.
I agree with you. We all need all the soccer fans, and if you're not a fan, go out and support it. Go out and have a fun night.
Go to Kansas City one night
and
you'll
experience
see
it.
what the hell.
It'll blow you away. We're speaking with Ken Bromeyer with Sozo Motorsports. He's talking about soccer. Naturally, my broadcast partner, Randy Gardner, talking about soccer. I want to talk about football, but anyway, we won't get to that. But we're at Bobby's Place in Valley Park. We're broadcasting on a Thursday night, taping the show here, right north of Interstate 44 on Highway 141, Bobby's Place. Naturally, Bobby Plager has a lot of information concerning Bobby. I should say a lot of pictures all over the place. They're getting ready for the hockey game tonight. We're broadcasting, taping it here tonight. It'll be broadcast on KFNS between 6 and 7 on Friday. And talking about, guys, we're talking about the indoor football. Indoor soccer is starting. When is it starting? Next month? November over at the Family Arena in St. Charles. And then the indoor football will be starting.
Right.
And you part of that this year?
Part of the indoor football. Did the broadcasting last year on TalkSTL.com. Won a nice little trophy for for Broadcasters of the Year. And so that.
Oh, you had to throw that in there.
Oh, absolutely.
I want to see it. I don't believe it.
Yeah, we'll bring it. We'll bring it. But they're going to be playing again, the St. Louis Attack, and they went to the Super Bowl. The same thing as the Super Bowl for the Rams. The Rams make the Super. No, anyway, when they were there in 1999.
There we go.
So they're going to go ahead and start the league again. And there's a few more teams in this new league that they're starting. Bottom line is, there's a lot of local guys that are trying out for the team to get a lot of the local flair. Like you're saying with soccer, you get a lot of the local guys on the field, you're going to put butts in the seats.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Unfortunately, though, it's again a sport that the players don't make a lot of money.
Right.
And, they had good crowds last year.
I'm sorry to. I went to a few games with my son, and it was great. He kicked a couple field goals at halftime, and thought he was going to find his new, his next thing. So Kurt, good try. But yeah, no, let's get some fans in the crowd. It's fun.
Once somebody goes to one of those games, they'll continue to go back.
Right.
It's just with any per se minor league sport, it's tough to get that crowd in there for the first time. But when they come and see the product on the field, it's great.
It's a great product.
Yeah, a lot of times
you can hear Gary broadcasting.
You can hear me broadcasting, right? But the thing is that you get the kids there,
right?
Naturally, then the adults naturally take the kids. But then they kind of get wrapped around it because there's so much excitement that goes into these games because the games are like 70 to 62.
Oh, there's always something going on. Absolutely, yes, and that's what it's all about. And I hate to bash the soccer a little bit, but it's not a 1-0 draw. It's a 75 to 76, or whatever.
Well, in soccer over the past, I don't know when it was, 4 or 5 years ago, they went through that spell where there were 3 goals or 3 points per goal. And there was a lot of soccer purists saying you've got to stop that because you're driving away your base consumer.
No, you're right. Absolutely.
I don't know with the soccer. I think the fans want to see more scoring naturally. How do you do it? Do you put less people on the grass or more people on the grass?
It's called a pitch.
Yeah.
It's not grass, it's turf, and it's called instead of pitch.
I wear my hat when I play football.
I've always said you want to put fans in the stands at a soccer game and an indoor game. Is you'll allow a little bit of checking, per se, and you'll let them fight.
Come on, remember the old Steamers days? We used to fill the old barn. It was unbelievable.
Buy a ticket for a Steamers
it was
game.
awesome.
Steve Jungle, the New York Arrows, and all those guys.
Well, and soccer was so big in the 1990s, and then they tried to put a team out at the Family Arena, and it just fell on its face. Nobody came out. Why do you think?
I just think there's so much for the dollar for families to do anymore. It's hard to get them in the feeder programs are unbelievable anymore. But, and that's where it needs to start, is the feeder programs bringing the people into the arena.
Yeah, soccer back in the 70s, the late 70s, indoor soccer was a novelty. It was new. It was fresh. And as the years went on, it just kind of died down. We're seeing the rebirth with the MLS, though. These places are building their own stadiums now, and they're packed. Kansas City, you can't buy a ticket. They've been sold out, I think, 40-something games in a row.
Now, Ken Bromeyer, do you go around to the different, like up to Kansas City, or travel around to watch soccer because you miss it?
You know what? When I get there, I'd love to. Went to a few Kansas City games, went to a couple Dynamo games. Would love to go to Seattle and see the Sounders. Yeah. When I get a chance and I got some time, that's where I'll spend my dollar.
Portland would be another great place to go see a game.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yep.
Yeah, there's
so can you arrange a trip to Seattle for us?
Probably not.
What about with the motorsport stuff? You ever get on a bike, get in a car, do anything?
I'll tell you what, to ride one of those motorcycles, they're doing $135 on a flat track down the back or front stretch. I'm going not, but you know what, they're athletes, and that's what you're talking about. They are true athletes. They get beat up, they get hurt, and they have all those aches and pains. You know what? So's a nutritional beverage helps that a ton.
You know, those are the type of sports where unless you actually are physically there, you can't translate what happens like at a NASCAR race or at motocross or where, you know, anyway, NHR. You can't translate that to television unless you're there. The smell, the experience, the aura, you just can't get it.
No, you can't. I mean, this was our inaugural season, and I would have never thought that I would have got so involved in following the racers and what they're doing. And I mean, it's cool. It's really neat.
Yeah, it is neat. And it's neat here at Bobby's Place in Valley Park. SportsRadioSTL.com is what you're listening to. We're on the air every Friday night from 6 to 7 p.m. And basically we have a good time talking to different individuals like Ken Bromeyer, Sozo Motorsports. Earlier we talked a lot about motorsports. We had the Towel Man.
Yeah, but we're having so much time. It's about time to wrap things up. We're going to go over on
we
the
also
show
had
here.
the Towel Man. I was just kind of going over the different people we had tonight. We had the Towel Man from, naturally, the St. Louis Blues.
Absolutely.
A good time with that. So a lot of good things going on here at the place. Next week, where I want to go with it.
You're flustered. Are we at the Ameristar next week?
No. Next week, we're going to go to Bobby's Place in downtown St. Charles.
And then the Ameristar. And then I'm going to drink go to Sozo STL and get buffed up. And then I'm going to fight on the fights out
Rumble
of November
Time
7th.
Promotions, and we're going to talk a lot about that.
All right, time to wrap this thing up. All right, we're going to be over. All right, thanks for joining us here on the show. Gary, appreciate your time. As always, it's a lot of fun doing the show. It's good to have a soccer guy on the show for once every 6 months that I can talk to. All right, thanks for joining us here on Sports Radio STL on 590 The Fan. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Have a good one.